everyone, we're painting this today, so a little bit of clouds and some sky and some silhouettes. Yeah, let's get started. Also, some footage will be blurry, so please forgive me. Next video will be better. Okay, hello guys, this is what we'll be painting today, and yeah, let's just get started. So you don't have to do this, but I'm getting a pencil and just sketching down where the trees are, where the power lines will be on the corner. And then I'm going to grab my blue. I'm starting with a darker blue and going across all the way from left to right. And I'm going to make sure that I cover about half or just before half of the page before I start moving into a lighter blue. Okay, now I'm going to start adding a little bit more white to my blue. It's a little bit too dark, so you'll see me go back and forth between my paint palette and mixing the blue and the white and then brushing that through, making sure the bottom half looks a little bit more lighter than the top. Okay, now we're starting the orange, and again you'll see me going back and forth between my palette and the paper, which you'll also have to do to make sure that your orange at the bottom blends really nicely with the blue. So I'm adding white mostly, so the blue and orange don't get too mixed up. I'm going to add white, and then once I've blended the white into the blue, I'm going to go down and blend with long, nice strokes into the orange. Now we're going to start adding the white for the cloud. Okay, so here's my palette, and you can see it's pretty watery. I would say almost 60% water and 40% paint. Usually I do more of a 50-50, but since we're just doing the first layer for the clouds, I want to make sure it's pretty light and we can mix the water and gouache around easier that way. So I'm doing a very soft dabbing motion. It's okay if you don't have the same brush, but preferably something that's more round tipped so you can create the roundness of these clouds. Now I'm grabbing more of a grey blue, and again the same watery texture, and we're going to paint the grey on only one side of your cloud. This makes sure that it's realistic in terms of light coming from, in this case, the left hand side, and then obviously the shadow will be on the right hand side. Okay, I'm sorry, this next part, please pause the video and do exactly the same steps that we just did, because I thought I totally videoed this bit, but I didn't. So yeah, so pause the video. This part, I did the same thing, so white clouds first, then I added the shadows with the grey blue shades. And then now we're moving on to the left hand side of the clouds. I'm actually starting with a grey as the base layer for these clouds. This is because I wanted more grey and more shadow on the left hand side. So rather than having white clouds with darker shadows, I'm creating darker clouds with white or light highlights. So that's why I've created the grey first, and then now I'm going back over it with a whiter or lighter grey shade. And of course I'll go back and forth between all these clouds to fix up and balance the whites and the greys. Now I'm moving on to the more wispy, I would say, clouds, longer clouds. I'm using the same brush but a bit of a darker color, so more paint and less water. I would say 60% paint, 40% water, and we're going in and just creating these long sweeping strokes. Okay, I have darkened the blue in the sky here. You can if you want to, you may not want to. Honestly, I feel like it's a little too dark now, but we're just gonna go with the flow and see what happens. So pause the video and darken the sky if you would like. Personally, I don't think I needed to do this, but yeah, and then continue highlighting your clouds with a much more brighter white. So less paint, I would say here would be 20% water and then 80% is paint. So it's a very, very bright white, a saturated white. And then now I'm blending in all the greys. Not too much, otherwise it'll just cause a huge blur and it won't look like clouds anymore. So just gently dabbing, just like this. Okay, now we've finally made it to the silhouettes, so you can either use a really dark blue, like a Prussian blue, or here I'm using a black, and we're going to create the silhouettes or shadows of the trees. I'm using a very light but quick stippling motion to create the little leaf textures, especially towards the top of the branches where you can see all the leaves spreading out towards the sky. You really want to create a texture that looks like you can see through to the other side of the trees and to the sky that you painted. And again, don't press too hard on the brush because then you can't see the leafy texture. Okay, now finally for the power lines, the easiest but also the easiest to mess up. So make sure you have a really steady hand, and I would say this is 80% paint or gouache and 20% water. So, and some of them will be thick power lines, others will be really thin. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope this has helped you. And hopefully there's more tutorials coming. I love painting clouds and I love that you watched all the way to the end. So thank you so much and see you again next time. Enjoy painting!